Hi, Leicester. Sorry I can't be there with you today, but I'm excited to present the session today nonetheless. I'm Anjali Small, a legal counsel at Microsoft. In my role, I have the privilege of using AI daily, so I have first-hand knowledge of its capabilities. My work involves commercial transactions and dispute resolution, providing me with a distinctive and insightful perspective on a variety of legal topics and tech use cases. The rise of generative AI recently in the legal sector has been rapid. Firms of all sizes will need to embrace it to remain competitive, which is part of why we are talking about this today. The presentation itself will explore common misconceptions with AI, we'll discuss responsible and practical application, and we'll delve into how technology and AI can enhance our work as lawyers. We'll start by looking at what is AI and why is it so popular at the moment? So AI at its core involves machines performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. This concept has evolved significantly since its inception in the 1940s, with machine learning marking a fundamental step forwards. Machine learning enables systems to autonomously enhance performance by recognizing patterns through data exposure. So very similar to how humans learn from experience. The current buzz around AI is largely due to two things. One, its democratization, and two, generative AI breakthroughs. AI is becoming accessible to all with technological advancements, including improved natural language processing capabilities and the ability to use it without programming expertise. The buzzword, the buzz, like I said, around AI at the moment is partially due to generative AI, which is particularly transformative for the legal sector. Generative AI is grounded in language, which is very much, what the practice of law is. So when preparing for this event today, I asked a generative AI tool, so our Copilot for M365, to explain in 3 sentences what generative AI is. And this is what it said. It said it's a form of AI that can create new things. And what types of things can it create? It can create pictures, it can create text, speech, and things that are similar to examples it has seen before. And how is it doing this? How does it do it? It does so by learning, figuring out patterns and rules that make things similar, and then using those patterns and rules to create new things and new examples. So I think that's the core of generative AI is that it can create new things. And in the last 12 months or 24 months, from ChatGPT to newer tools on the market like Microsoft Copilot, the evolution of generative AI and practical use cases has been fundamental. And we can now see how generative AI can support legal professionals in many ways, whether that's drafting documents, to reviewing legislation, to helping to prepare advice. In terms of generative AI, it's difficult to talk about generative AI without having a look at what's under the hood and what's driving these models. Now, what you'll find is that at the heart of many generative AI services are large language models. These are trained on vast amounts of data to understand and generate text that mirrors natural language. They transform data into numerical representations, which enable algorithms to predict and generate responses based on our user prompts. It's important to understand this, especially as a legal practitioner, because many of these large language models aren't copying and keeping a copy of the data, which we know is a concern for legal practitioners. So this is the bit I'm perhaps most excited about. It's how are law firms using AI already? How are we using AI already within Microsoft? The data we have suggests that the legal industry is rapidly embracing AI, particularly the larger and medium-sized firms. We have, for example, Clifford Chance, who's recently deployed Copilot for Microsoft 365 at scale across its workforce. This follows its deployment of another AI tool on Microsoft's Azure OpenAI platform. So, a great example there of a firm that has demonstrated its trust in generative AI and what it can do for their organization. Ultimately, though, AI technologies can result in better outcomes for all firms, leading to improved efficiency, greater job satisfaction, and as well as client satisfaction. From engaging directly with clients to supporting drafting of contracts, correspondence, pleadings, and other documents to optimizing internal functions and operations. We are seeing lots of potential use cases for AI in the legal sector, including within our organization. For example, automating document creation. I regularly use AI to create draft agreements for my internal clients. Streamlining document review, so analyzing client submissions and searching for precedents. Again, a client may come to me wanting, say, an event agreement, and I can put that into our AI tool and say, what's our latest document or template on this, and within seconds, I've got the link I need to the document my client needs. Case summarization, so whether that's digesting case and legislation. Just today, our team invested in a session where we kind of explored various AI use cases. And for that, one of that for us was looking at the new AI Act, for example, and having AI tools, pulling out the key aspects of that and what it means for us and our customers. So again, a fantastic tool in terms of quickly sifting through large volumes of data and pulling out key information. Client and workload profiling, a fantastic area for AI, again, just helping us to be more efficient, working out what's more important or what we need to start our day with each day. Compliance automation, so whether that's facilitating conflict or anti-money laundering checks. Legal chatbots, so providing instant responses to common legal inquiries. This is something we are looking at internally as well. We have lots of routine advice. Could a legal chatbot enable us to streamline some of that? Could that free up our paralegals to do more high impact work whilst that legal chatbot takes on some of the more routine inquiries? And also, I think this is an area where we've already seen that generative AI can increase access to justice by making certain types of routine legal services more accessible. Disclosure and discovery automation. I think not a lot need to be said here. I think this is one of the areas that AI has been used in for many years. But the technology and the advancements, it means those tools are so much smarter and more intuitive today than they were 5 or 6 years ago. Communication assistance, so whether that's drafting emails or other correspondence, I use this daily, and the feedback you get from the AI tools can be quite interesting. So I often get told you could be more polite on that, or you could be less abrupt, or and it just gives you these hygiene points that as busy lawyers we sometimes forget is still important in how we work, and maintaining a certain level of diligence around how we communicate is also important. Meeting management, so generating transcripts and action points from Teams meetings. This is certainly a game changer for us in terms of I use that on most of my Teams calls. It means I can listen, I can engage and participate in the call rather than take notes. And I can see this being very valuable for junior staff members who often get pulled on calls to take notes and sit there instead of kind of learning and contributing in a meaningful way, kind of worrying about taking verbatim tools. It takes all that away because AI tools can do that for you now and really enable your staff to start, especially your junior staff, to start adding value much early on in their career, because they really get a chance to immerse in doing law from day one. In terms of the other firms that are leading the way in this area, we've got Cameron McKenna, CMS, who's been participating in our early access program since last August. They have done an insightful series of videos on LinkedIn where you get to see the value of the technology, and it just brings to life just how much value you could get out of this technology in a law firm context. Worth also saying that the SRA has recognized AI's potential in the legal market, which is great endorsement, specifically mentioning Copilot's capabilities in automating meeting minutes, producing presentations, and facilitating bespoke house-style drafting. Like I said, I frequently use AI tools like Copilot to draft documentation, which are compliant with, Microsoft standard procedures. The interaction with these AI tools, if you like Copilot, is intuitive. In terms of using them, you input a prompt, which is a question or instruction. You receive output content, and this can vary. That output can vary from images, text, or Excel formulas, draft emails, or even PowerPoint presentations. And in terms of that input content and output content, certainly with our services, that's customer data. So that's data that you own. Coming here and writing this presentation today, a great use case for generative AI is the ability to write your talk track, like, what I'm talking from today, and then getting a generative AI tool like Copilot to produce the slides to go with that. It takes minutes rather than hours to produce a slick slide deck from, a well-organized talk track. Users of generative AI services can ground the output content with specific data. So it can utilize data from your email inbox to tailor its responses, ensuring that the output is personalized and relevant to your needs. Again, I may want an output from one of our generative AI tools. I may say, I need to respond to an email from X. I've responded to a similar email before, so look at the content of my emails, look at the content of my Teams chat, and based on that, could you prepare me a response that covers this topic based on information that I've shared before with others? And again, the tool can create a slick and short and sharp response, which I can either use as is or apply my human judgment and modify and then send on. So again, it saves me time and increases my efficiency. Many AI tools have inbuilt safety systems to ensure that the models are providing responsible outputs. So, for example, instructions can be provided to the model that apply to all prompts, such as instructing them not to violate any known IP rights in a response. So these are called meta prompts. And again, that's how you control the model and ensure that, the content is the output content is responsible. So in this competitive landscape of the legal sector, staying up to date with AI advancements is crucial. This technology can understand and generate contextually relevant content, helping document drafting, case analysis, and so much more that we do as lawyers on a daily basis. It's not just about automation, because automation has been around for a while. This takes it to the next level, and it's really about augmenting our human expertise with AI tools as a co-pilot to unlock legal practice efficiencies. A conversation around generative AI and the legal sector wouldn't be complete without touching on some of these concerns that any responsible organization utilizing new technologies for the first time wouldn't want to consider. And the concerns typically associated with generative AI are similar to many new technologies, such as regarding data privacy, confidentiality, IP infringement, and responsible use. So different AI providers will approach these concerns differently, but I can share with you how Microsoft addresses these concerns in the context of our AI tools. And again, this may just help you formulate your questions and due diligence when looking at purchasing AI tools. So starting with confidentiality, data security, and privacy. Microsoft's AI solutions are integrated into Microsoft Cloud, which is built to comply with data protection laws and leverages its robust data security and privacy safeguards. Microsoft 365 Copilot for Microsoft 365 will only present data that a user can already access. So it maintains the same data access controls as all other M365 services. So for example, here in a legal context, if in a law firm you're unable to access your managing partner's emails today, your co-pilot from Microsoft 365 won't be able to access those emails either. And equally, in an in-house context, if today you can't access your boss's emails or see them, you wouldn't be able to do so. Data that the customer uploads to create a customized model is also not shared with any other customer or third party, nor is it used in the processing of any other customer's model. Again, very important that your data is safeguarded. The next area to look at is IP. Microsoft's large language models are trained in compliance with copyright laws. And for Azure OpenAI Service and for paid for Copilot, we offer robust defense for commercial customers against copyright infringement claims, contingent, of course, on you complying with Copilot's privacy safety measures. The final topic area to look at in this section is responsible AI. Microsoft is one of the earlier champions of responsible AI, guided by the principles of fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency and accountability, which aligns with the UK government's white paper on these topics. Again, these are areas that can help to inform the areas that you look at if you're doing due diligence on an AI solution, just trying to understand, how your supplier feels about these various topic areas that are core to any AI discussion. So in closing, I just want to say we are just scratching the surface of what AI can do in the legal sector. It is still early days, but the uptake has been phenomenal. So just imagine a future where the vast sea of data, super fast computers, and the magic of AI tools are at all our fingertips. That's where we're headed, and fast. So for early adopters amongst us, the rewards could be huge. Those are the adopters who will transform the way they work, flipping traditional principles on its head, and just harnessing AI to solve complex problems and challenges and achieve more precise outcomes than those who uptake AI later in the day. Thank you so much for listening.